Good evening. Welcome to Two School Sports and another edition of Boxing Talk for the next couple hours. I know on this channel we've talked about all kinds of fighters, lightweights, heavyweight, middleweight, super middleweights, you name it, we've talked about. And we actually have supported all these fighters. But tonight we have our own opinions on Ryan Garcia, that people want to call. How you guys doing? I'll get to your comments. Hi, Cesar. Hi, Jesus. Ryan Garcia, is he really the future king of the division? That's the questions that I want to ask tonight. And I know this channel, we talk about everything, but we have to be fair. We have to call it where we see it, and we have our own opinions just to have conversation's sake. And what I'm going to ask the audience, and as we go on, we can talk more about it. What do you guys think about Ryan Garcia? Do you think he's going to be the future lightweight champion in his division? Do you think somebody's going to stomp him? Do you think he's going to be a fluke? Do you think he's all talk on social media and he's not all about taking boxing serious? We'll talk about the changes that he had with his trainers. With Joe, a Hall of Fame in California, Joe Goosen. We know what he's done. And then we talk about the split with Ray Reynoso. We could talk all night about him. I just want to get you guys' intake. I want to know what you feel about him, where you stand with him. Do you think he's just a bunch of air balloons just calling out fighters when they already have contracts, and when the actual fights come, something happens where he doesn't even get the fight, whether it's getting injury or no disrespect if it's his mental status or whatever, because we know that that's a serious thing that happens every day in life. Or do you just think that he's just a fluke and he's not the real deal in the lightweight division? That's what I want to know. So I'm going to continue talking about him. I want to hear your guys' feedback, and we can just fitting for that. I know another thing that he's done. How you doing, Carl? Kangaroo Hansen, what's up? I know another thing that he's done. He's gone on social media. As you know, the Emperor. Well, that's in Carol Hansen. How you guys doing? The Emperor got on him, was on Twitter, and then went back and forth. And basically, Garcia came out and said, you know what? You caught Teofimo in a bad day. I'm not saying you say it was a lucky shot, but you caught him at a time where he was probably having health issues inside the ring, and he was also having family issues outside the ring. So you caught Teofimo, who's a live dog, in a bad state of mind, and that is why you got that one lucky punch, and you beat Teofimo for those belts. He also, even though he said that towards negativity towards Kambosos, he also said that he respects Kambosos because he sees the dedication and the hard work he puts in the ring. To go back to that, and I go to comments after this, and then on the other side, you see how Kambosos came back and said to him. He said, "You made a big spectacle of yourself and a big audience in social media." And he basically told him, "I would love." He said, "I would love to fight you, but I'll be honest with you." This Kambosos talking, but you are not deserving of a real fight. He's basically saying, he says that you're more into the social media thing. You want to do the boxing. You need to focus on your fight coming up with Tago, because you know he's not going to be an easy fight. I guess Kambosos used to be sparring partners. So that being said, they had a back and forth, and Kambosos just told him, like, you don't, I don't, right now you're not deserving anything. So let me get to the comments, and I'll get back to more. Let's just get start with that. How you doing, Cesar? What's going on, man? Jesus, saludos, que Dios te bendiga. What's up, Kangaroo Hansen? God bless. What's up, Cesar? BTV here, hopefully, as the live goes on. As Sue says, nobody is the future in boxing, a bunch of jokers. Are you talking about just the way because I know BT really feels very adamant about that. He's so tired about talking about 135, what they've done, what they're not doing, pointing the fingers to each other. He's just tired of the whole soap opera. Is that what you're saying, Jesus? And I have to agree with you, Kangaroo Hansen. That's why I wanted to have the live. Carol Hansen said, I want to see him fight the big dogs of the division, before I call him the future of boxing. Well said. When I refer to that in the title, I'm just saying he does have the talent. He does have the talent to be. And everybody can say that he could be up there with the best if he didn't just do the setbacks and didn't grab it, hype up his skirt, and actually fight the top dogs in the division so he can get some respect. So you're absolutely right what you said there. Cesar said Ryan and Roddy. That would be a great fight. That Ryan and Roddy, Ryan and Tank. Still got Lomachenko in the play whenever he comes back. And who else did they have? 131 to Roddy, Tank. This I can't think right now, but then there's a whole bunch of the 135 that can actually make it for him. Ryan, Tio, Fimo, let's go. I think Tio Fimo's moving up to 140. I don't think he can make 135 anymore. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Any shit will do after the fact. Hey, you're right. He always when he gets a big fight or something, or fighters on contract, he calls out a lot of fighters, but he never comes through. That being said, I feel, and I think it's possibly going to happen, that the more I think about BT's theory on possibly being Ryan Garcia being the next opponent to literally fight Kambosos, I truly believe that, because I'm not saying it's not going to happen with Haney, but sometime down the road, they are going to meet. And I'm going to say that again. I was reading about it today, and Togo and Kambosos, I think the promoter is DeBella. DeBella's using Togo to get the next fight with Ryan. If Ryan continues to do what he's doing, it could possibly happen to him and Kambosos. If Kambosos decides to fight David Haney and the fight doesn't fall through, don't be surprised if Garcia shows up. Let's go, champ. Shandikin, let's go, champ. OTG, I am MIA. I'm missing that. I guess missing in action. Be the face of boxing one day. OTG, he might be the big man. You go, man. God bless to you, man. Yeah, you might be the. That's right. You gotta have that faith. You gotta have that belief. Shout out to you, IROC 18SV. Shout out to you. That's right. Shout out to you. BT's out there. All I'm saying, Andrew says, all I'm saying is these boys better never let Ryan get his hands on a world title. He'd be the biggest diva ever. And you're right. That's one thing that BT was when we had several lives before he went up to Las Vegas and over there in Los Angeles. He was telling the same. He told us in several lives. If he gets a hand on that, you might be right. He might be the biggest and the biggest. I mean, you already see what he does in social media. Just imagine what would happen if he got his hands on any title. You're absolutely right. Okay, let's see what Kango has to. The thing that pisses me off about Garcia is he has a huge following on social media, but he hasn't fought on pay-per-view yet. So we don't know if he can convert his numbers on Instagram to pay-per-view. Yeah, that was a good question. You're bringing that up because I was reading about that today. Matter of fact, I was looking it up, and Paulie Palmaliani, I don't know how you say it. You know who I'm talking about. He's got his own channel, Paulie's TV, and I was literally watching what Paulie said about Ryan Garcia. He said a lot of good things. He said Ryan Garcia, in order for him to continue in boxing, because he already got the big social media platform, and he could literally just because of the following he's got, he can monetize it and make more and more money and have more opportunities in boxing. He brought out in his channel, this is Paul Malajani, he says Ryan's is talented, but his bunky point is, he said, if Ryan Garcia does not continue to be hungry as far as succeeding in boxing, and if he doesn't have that hunger, he's not going to go nowhere. And I told you about Paulie saying, literally, he's got a lot of options in the social media aspect, but can he do the same thing on pay-per-view? Can he do this? Time will tell about that. But what Paulie was saying is, if he's not hungry, he might have got this point. And I totally agree with that point. I'll tell you why I agree with that point. It's because Ryan Garcia, if you don't got any hunger, and for every fighter, their dream is to become a world champion. and then the next dream is probably to climb the mountain and become undisputed champion in your division. So if he doesn't got the hunger to succeed in that and feels that he just succeeded in boxing just because, then for me personally, he just needs to get out of boxing. He just needs to get out of boxing. But I think Ryan Garcia needs boxing just as much as boxing wants to stay in boxing, just because he's got the hunger to be successful. He wants to prove people wrong. And he's got the option to do that. I'm not saying I'm agreeing with what choices made or what he's done or what he does on social media, but I will say one thing, and I always say this, and this stuck to me with Stacey McKinley, how he in South Florida, who trained Mike Tyson, who's trained Top of the Top, who's the trainer now for the Dream Brian, who's going to fight, who's coming up with Dubois. And one thing that he always tells any fighter when he first walks in the gym, he tells them straight up, if you cannot be 24/7, that means 24/7 every minute and second, dedicated, live, eating shit, boxing, you're not in for the whole ride. So I will say that about him. If he continues with this, with his thing with the social media, doing his boxing and doing this and doing that, I think that's gonna just divert and push him away from what he's got to do. I think Burchell's fighting. No, Burchell. Well, first of all, Burchell just moved up to 135. He's actually fighting this weekend. He's fighting this weekend with Nikai or something like that. I forgot his name. Nikolama. I can't even say his name. He's fighting this weekend on ESPN on Top Ring, and it's his first fight at 135. He basically says he wants to get up to from what I was reading about him, Burchell wants to get up to 135. Get to tune-up fights. No disrespect to Nimahali or whatever he's called, the guys he fought, who it was. He's going to fight next, but no disrespect to the fight he's going to fight next this weekend. But he did say that he wants 2 more fights and he wants to go for some title shots at 135. So before we can even talk about what he can do at 140, we have to worry about what he's going to do at 135. 14-year-old girls don't necessarily order pay-per-view fights. No, they probably don't. You're right about that. So you're basically saying the social media is all young girls following him. That says you got me laughing. Yeah, so I'm gonna get down to the nitty-gritty about this. You guys, as you already know, Ryan Garcia has had he trained with Reynoso over there in California, with Canelo's gym, Reynoso, Frank Sanchez, Martinez that just fought the great legend in Chocolatito. Virgil was over there training, Virgil Ortiz, but he went to switch over and he went somewhere else. So Garcia was with that gym for the longest time. And one of the issues that Garcia says why he left, or he was bitter about the fact that that he left the gym was because Reynoso was never there. Even Canelo didn't say, but Reynoso was never there all the time to actually honor his part as a main head trainer and be there to train all the fighters. He says, take for example the Frank Sanchez fight. He came out, called them out, and said, Brian called them out and said, Frank Sanchez just showed up. He showed up to the fight the night of the fight. I mean, who does that? And he didn't want to go deep into it. He just basically said what he had to say. So he was just calling out that part of it. Then he was upset because, and I get it, he sounds like a bitch, he sounds like a diva and all this other stuff. He also came out and said, Canelo to come out and call him out and say he's not being dedicated and doing this and doing that when he knows that he's always been there doing his thing. But was kind of hurt him and all this other stuff. So it all comes back down to all the mental thing with Ryan Garcia. But I'm going to say it like this: if you're not happy, I always say there's always two sides to the story. So he called out Reynoso on a lot of things, and Reynoso had no answers for them. Okay, as far as him showing up the night of the fight, for Sanchez not being there for training when he should be there. And I get it, his value should only be with the main goal, the main money go getter, which is Canelo. But at the same time, don't sit there. Basically, Ryan was saying, don't sit there and bash me and hate on me for the fact that I was doing this and this and that, when you know it wasn't all about that, but you want to sit there and just throw rocks at me. If you're going to talk something, talk it real. So I like that about Ryan. I like what he said. I'm not saying he's right correctly all the time, because I totally don't agree with him, you being on social media and being a boxer at the same time. I think you got to do one or the other, or know how to balance it. You can't just sit there and fucking be in the gym training and then taking solo pictures and social shit and all that stuff. But that being said, because of the state of Ryan Garcia's mental state, and I'm just not making issues how I see it. I was watching him today in his gym, on his channel, and to me, he seems a lot comfortable. I mean, yeah, he's not being pressured by Canelo. He's not being pushed by Reynoso. He got Goosen in there, and Goosen's letting Ryan be who Ryan is. Joe Goosen has worked with Brian before. I think when he was 14, then Brian left him and went to Reynoso's and went to, I think, some other trainers. So what I'm getting at is I think being in the mental state that he was in and all the pressure over there and dealing with all the bullshit that sometimes happens in the gym that people don't see, for him, and you might say he's a spoiler, he's a diva, he's a crybaby, but the reality is, if you're not there as a trainer, not being there, dedicating yourself to the fight, to the fighter, and only going to show up when it's, and I'm not saying this, I'm just saying generalizing it, showing up for the fighter's fight and that's it, and then you expect me to hire you as a trainer, you taking a percentage on my check, and you're not putting a problem with me, what the fuck did I hire you for? I don't care if it's Canelo, I don't care if it's Billy Bo, I don't care if whoever it is, you got to put your time with your fighter, that's why he hired you. You know what I'm saying? So I say it's partially both of their faults, but I do see Ryan Garcia a lot comfortable more in the gym, in his new gym with Joe Goosen. I think Goosen's going to bring the best out of him. I think Goosen's going to teach him the inside game, going to teach him how to jab, he's going to teach him how to do. I mean, if you don't know about Goosen's trained Riddick Bowe, Michael Nunn, Joe Casamia. He's trained Amir Khan. He's got, go look at his list. He's a very decorated trainer. So we all say that now Joe Goosen is out there in California just training people and getting money in his pocket at the Goosen gym. No, he's got a resume behind him. He's got a good resume behind him of the fighters at his spot. And that's not taken away from Eddie Reynoso, okay? But sometimes being around all that shit and Canelo and constantly being on TV, and a lot of it's got to do with egos too. A lot of these fighters got a lot of fucking egos, and don't get me wrong, Ryan Garcia is one of them. Let me get some of these comments. Yeah, I like to see as far as Burchell, as his first fight back since being knocked out by Oscar Valdez. So I would love him to come back, win this weekend, get another fight, and then go ahead and shoot for another at 135. He deserves it. Okay. He's one of the answers is crazy. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that one, Carl Hansen. I'm with you. I will pray for one that says, the only thing I'm going to tell you is make sure you wear a rain jacket. Carl Hansen says, I like Ryan too. He beats one of the top dogs. Me get a title. He will be the first OG social media star to make it in boxing. He's not fighting with Ty. Yeah, you're right. I get what you're saying. Because I was looking at Ryan Garcia's resume. The biggest fight that Ryan Garcia fought was Luke Campbell, and boy, that really was a good fight. One thing, I was watching the fight. They shot how the fight. Watching how Ryan Garcia was fighting in that fight. You can't take. He does got heart. He does got courage. I'm talking about Garcia. He got back up. He threw a beautiful left to the body and caught Campbell. And then he threw a left hook before that. He knocked him off with the left hook, and then he got that to the body where they stopped him. So he's got that. I think so we can't take that away from him. We just want to see what out of top of the launch fights he needs to fight instead of calling him out on social media and not going through with it. So I get you. You gotta act on action and let your action talk for yourself. So I honestly think after this fight with after this fight with TOG Tuggle. After this fight, I'm not discrediting Tuggle because he's 32 and one or something like that. But that being said, the best fighter that Tuggle has fought was Dennis Menard. If I could, Menard. He was last. I was checking his record out. That's the best fight he's had on his resume, up and down. He fought him, but no, Dennis Menard fought him. I'm getting confused now. Tuggle fought Dennis Menard, and Menard fought Teofimo, and I forgot who else I just said he fought. But his best opponent for Tuggle was Menard. So I mean, I see that. I see that. I think if Ryan wins this fight, like I'm gonna keep saying, if we don't hear nothing about this Devin Haney and then within the end of the week about if they finalize anything, I'm telling you, don't be surprised if Garcia don't stick it after this fight and De La Hoya makes something happen with that, because he's already come out on our social media and said it. Urban Morales says he's physically talented, but his antics show he probably isn't all there mentally. Let's hope Goossen can turn him into a Diego Corrales like a fighter. Well, like one of the biggest things, one of the things I was reading also was the former boxer announcer now for the Zone, Sergio the Snake Mora, came out and said that one thing that he likes about Garcia going with Goossen is that Goossen knows how to teach fighters how to fight dirty in the inside. He can teach them how to throw long jabs, how to throw left hooks to the body and make it more for him. That being said, I also will say, we already know that Ryan Garcia can fight on the outside. We already know that, but making him an inside fighter will only better his game. And like I say, you got to give credit to Goossen. Goossen has worked. The plus side with all this is Ryan. He's worked with Goossen before. They pretty much know each other, and they have good chemistry with each other. Regardless of what our open opinion is, oh, Ryan can do this on social media. He can do this, that. He's not doing this, whatever. If you can make that fighter, especially in his mental state of mind, like the way he's had problem, I'm talking about Garcia, and make him comfortable in his gym, make him be who he wants to be, and still get the best out of him as a boxer, there's nothing that you can ask of Goossen. That's the best way I can put it. So I think Ryan Garcia getting away from over there, the Reynoso's gym, for me personally, I think everybody would beg to argue that and say, oh no, Reynoso's a winner. He's got Canelo. He's got Martinez. He's got Valdez. He got this. He got that. He's a winner. You're right. But he wasn't comfortable in that atmosphere. He wasn't comfortable dealing with whatever Canelo says, because Canelo's like the LeBron of boxing. If LeBron says something in basketball, whatever team he goes to, he gets what he wants. If Canelo says this, it's got to be what Canelo says. And you best believe he's the one paying the highest paycheck to Reynoso. You don't think Reynoso's going to take sides with him? I think all that back and forth makes him uncomfortable. So me seeing Garcia back in the gym, seeing him comfortable his own way, it's a good thing for him. But it also could be a bad thing for him. It could be a double-edged sword. What I mean by that, you can have all that. You can have the media. You can have your social. You can do this, get how you want things go. But if you're not really training, if you're not focusing, and one thing that I will say also, you're not focused, it's gonna hurt you in the end. But that being said, I also was reading about Joe Goossen. They also say that he's a big, listen to what I say, a big, detail-oriented trainer, that he likes to do repetitions over and over and over and over and over and over again. What am I getting at? If you practice the basic repetitions of whatever, throwing the jab, the outside jab, the inside jab, the under jab to the left, to the body, the hook, the left hook, the right hook, the uppercut, whatever the case may be, if you do repetition and and honestly with you, with Ryan Garcia, you got to keep shit easy, because you already know, no disrespect, like I say again, he's already had a bad mental lapse, big mental lapse that really also made him escape from boxing and everything else. So you have to make it easier, less stressful for him to get the best out of your fighter, and why not Goossen? And I think that's probably the best thing for me. Ryan Garcia not disciplined. He can't stop making children. He is too sex drive. He not in there fighting. You know, you got a good point that me and BT were laughing about that. He got a chuckle over that. We were watching Oh, he was talking that he was willing to go to Australia, right? Yeah, I forgot what podcast he was on, and we watching the videos that BT was showing me. And they were interviewing, I think it was the standing long count with the standing podcast with Brian Costa. And they were asking Brian Costa, well, what happened if you got the possibility to fight Cambosis? You got that fight. I said, oh, I'm willing to go to Australia. I'm willing to do whatever they ask of me. I'm going to go there. I don't care what it is. I'm going to fight them. The first thing that comes out of his mouth when he says, oh, yeah, but the girls are real beautiful over there. So you're absolutely right. You're going to have to put locks on the bolts, you know what I'm saying, down there and shut them tight. Like every boxer does when they go through their training and focus on the matter at hand. I mean, he's got the money to make babies. It's going to cost him a lot of money. The man is young, attractive. He's going to have to know how to put his discipline. And I think as much as I want to judge him that he should have stayed with Reynoso or he should have stayed with whoever else, I think the best thing he's doing with going back to Goosen is let him be who he is, giving him guidelines, doing what Goose is asking him, and getting the best out of the boxer. I will tell you another story about Stacey McKinley. He trained Mike Tyson. He's also the trainer for right now, Brian, the Dream Brian, that's going to fight Dubois in a few weeks or whatever, a month or whatever it is. And one thing that he said when he was training, I forgot his name, from, I forgot the boxer's name, real popular boxer. When BT comes, I got to ask him. There's one boxer that he made a world champion. He liked to smoke cigarettes and drink beer. He liked to smoke cigarettes and drink beer. Now, if you're a trainer, you're like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want to do none of that shit for that fighter. I don't give a fuck. You're here to training. You're not here to drink beer. Not here to smoke cigarettes. You're not here to, go out with girls. You're not here to do whatever you want. You're here to focus that fight. You know what he got? What I'm getting at? I say Goosey can still get the best out of Ryan in a comfortable way that in mental state he'll be okay. And also, that's what Stacey McKinley did. He got I forgot his name. I have to Google it up. He was a real Spanish guy. You guys know who he is if I told you. I just can't think of his name right now, so bad memory is. So what did Stacey McKinley do? Stacey McKinley told him, okay, if you all this week, he said, all this week, you train hard, you do everything right, you do whatever you want. After you train, at the end of the week, I'll go buy you a 12-pack. I'll go buy you whatever I got to buy you and your pack of cigarettes, but you got to do the shit in the gym. And guess what? The fighter did that. The Spanish fighter, Mexican, I forgot where he's from. Damn, I can't think of his name. He's real popular if I tell you his name. And what happened? Stacey McKinley did that. He became a world champion, did everything. So what I'm getting at, sometimes to get the best about somebody, you got to try to compromise and do that. And I think that's the best way to go with Ryan Garcia. Kyle Hansen. I seen an interview with David Benavidez this morning, and man, that little call everyone out. He's an OG 80 style fighter. I'm rooting for him, bro. He's the Mexican. I like it. I'm a big. My son's not a big fan of Benavidez, but I'm a big fan of Benavidez. I think he's a young, hungry lion that's not afraid to fight anybody. And I'm gonna go back to what happened a couple of weeks ago. He can call President Biden. He can call President Trump. He can call Putin. He can call whoever the fuck he wants to call. But guess what? Nothing's going to happen because, you know why? Because his fucking manager is retarded and delusional. So even though I respect Benavidez, the biggest dark side to all this is his manager, Lukowicz. I think Ryan is going to surprise all with his next performance. And basically from here on out, he has a chip on his shoulder, and that changes him, man. You're right. And that's one thing I'm saying. First of all, people call him out when he didn't fight Futura, F-U-T-U-R-A, Futura, when he didn't fight him. They call him out when supposedly, I guess it was supposedly, I don't know if they got a tank or whatever fight. All the big fights that he wanted to get, they call him up, all that. But one thing I will say about this, he's so confident, Garcia is, that he'll take any challenge. And I mean, if you go watch the podcast that I just watched recently when I think it was Brian Costa asked him a lot of questions and stuff, he is so confident, man. You got to have confidence. I don't care. The TBE Floyd Mayweather, no matter what you did, what you said, in his mind, friend, I'm going to prove you wrong. And as long as he's got that, but I always say your word is the most important thing you have in your life as a man. He's just got to change that and just honor it. And by action, by his actions, everything will work out. I think if he beats Targo, I think if Haney don't rush to get this fight, I honestly think he's going to get that next fight with Kambosos after reading about him. So you're right about what you're saying. Sometimes being in front of adversity makes you a stronger person. He's probably watching this channel right now. He'll probably come on later on. But I'll make sure I'll tell him what you just said right there. I'll make sure. No disrespect to the females of anybody listening to. But yeah, I'll make sure you let him know, Punch Perfect, when he comes back to the UK, when they were there. God bless you, man. Shout out to the UK. What's up, fam? What's going on there, Pete? What you doing, man? Yeah, hit that like button if you haven't, man, because we got a long night to talk about. you see BT on A. Let me get it. Oh, this fucking phone of mine. Hold on. Let me fucking get it. Cessa says, let me get this thing up here. I gotta get up there. It's not going right now. Let me get this one on. Okay, anyway, Cessa says part of BT's push-ups, do that every day, BT. Yeah, he was at BT actually had a program. One thing I would say, if it was me, I'm not BT. BT's his own man. I'm different. BT more respect for me. I would have bet on a date, you know what I'm saying? It would have been a win-win situation, you know what I'm saying? It would have been a win-win situation, you know what I mean? She got the push-ups, and you got the date. What more do you want, you know? Okay. Well, let's just do this. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, so, get him off of there, okay. Okay, let me go here. Okay. Black Light says, okay. My phone's going out. Black Light says, this is the most technically flawed out of all the top divisions. Yeah, it's the most craziest. It's the most craziest division. You don't know what to expect from that division. To be honest with you, you just don't know what to expect from that division. You know what I mean? You don't know what to expect. You don't. So, I mean, it's just the way it goes sometimes. We know it's a big diva. Everybody got their own issue with the 135. Well, so far, Teofimo moved up, so he's out of the division. We don't have to worry about that. Probably most likely, if Devin Haney don't get this fight, most likely he'll probably moving up himself, doing his thing. So you don't know what's going to happen with that either. So, yeah, so you're right what you're saying. So I'm going to, so there's a lot of things going on with it. But I just think that, like I was saying, Goosen is good for him. It's going to teach him. One thing that opened my eyes, somebody also said, I was reading, was saying that if Goosen goes in and teaches Ryan to fight in the inside, then that will actually hurt his game as far as being a tall fighter and you being tall and rangy. So it's a catch-22, you give and take. But you can alter that. You can change that game plan as the fight's going on. You can change it back and say, okay, don't go inside, stay on the outside, jab, jab in with your uppercuts or whatever the case. So different game plans for that. So that's what I like. And like I said again, what I like about Ryan Garcia is that he's confident. He doesn't give a shit what anybody says about him. He doesn't care. He wants to prove it. I mean, like you say, he just went and told Kambosos the Emperor. What did he tell the Emperor? He told him, he said, you just got Teofimo on a bad night. On a bad night. And Kambosos didn't like that. Kambosos went back and shot it back at him and said, oh, yeah? Well, you're just a social media junkie, and that's all you are. And you should be focusing on your fight with Togo instead of worrying about that. But you know what? It is what it is. I think we're going to see more of Ryan, and I'm going to go to one of the comments that was saying here that Ryan is going to come back. He's not scared of adversity, and he's going to prove people wrong. So that's what I would say on Ryan Garcia. I think having Goosen, like I said, on his corner is great. I think, like you said, he's not looking past Togo. He's giving respect to Togo. He's telling Togo, hey, this is what the deal is. This is what I expect. This is what I want. I'm going to give you respect, but I'm going in there, and I gotta go and I'm pressing show him because of the fact if I don't, I might not get that possible fight with the Emperor. Who knows? I mean, this is gonna all flip as fast as can. We still got Rolly fighting Tank. We got that fight coming up. You know what I'm saying? So we don't know what's gonna happen with that fight. Well, most likely Tank will probably win, but don't sleep on Rolly. You just don't know. This division is crazy. Let's see. What are my comments here? What else got going on? Yeah, so that's what I'm getting at with Ryan Garcia. I think you know, give the man a chance. Let him go out there and prove himself. Let him see what he's all about, you know, and then we can go from there. I think he's going to beat Tuggle, and I personally think that, like I'm going to keep saying it again, if David Haney doesn't hurry up and take that flight and be over there and do what he's supposed to do, you know what? I wouldn't see why wouldn't it be if David Haney doesn't get it? You got Tank Davis still in the division, you got Rolling in the division, you got Garcia in the division, and you got other 135 fighters that were interested in taking out a big fight. So yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. Oh, there we go. My thing's going up again. No, it's all good. It's all good, Black Light. You know, we talk. We real man here. It's all good. We got to keep it real sometime. I just want an excuse for the other females, you know. Yeah, I've been wanting that fight for the longest time. I want Haney. Like I said, I don't give a lot of credit to Haney, but one thing I will give Haney is he's willing to fight anybody right now. He'll fight anybody right now. And people don't want to take it. I think they had. I'm not sure if they. No, I was reading today, as a matter of fact. I forgot. I should have taken down the article. Delahoye, you said that I think Ryan had the fight with Haney. I think it was Haney, if I'm correct. And a while back, and they never answered back or something. So it's always some political crap. But it'd be nice to see him to stand up, like somebody said. Let him build that resume out. Fight. I mean, his best to me was Luke Campbell, to be honest with you. And he showed a lot in that fight. You got to give him credit for that. But one thing that I see from that fight also that I didn't like from Garcia is he tends to hold his left hand low. When he go up and he keeps his hands low. And I think you leave yourself too open for up here, and somebody's going to catch you. Just the same way that Campbell caught him twice with a right, because he exposed his left, threw it low, and Campbell caught him twice with a right when he knocked him down, and he caught him again. So that's going to be a thing that they need to work out with Ryan Garcia. And again, it's going to be if he's big-headed or is he really willing to listen. Jeremy Jones says that pretty boy ain't acting up to do anything. Well, I'll tell you, Jeremy, I think that he's going to have to be active now, because a lot of people moving out from 135 up to 140. You got Burchell coming up to 135. Regardless of what about Burchell, Burchell's going to have a first fight 135 this weekend. You're going to have some other monsters moving up from 130 to 135 that are willing to take those fights. So eventually, Ryan Garcia is going to step up. He's going to have to answer the call. He's going to have to pick up the motherfucking phone and say, I'll grab his balls and get in there. And not to grab his balls to pregnant women, but grab his balls and be man enough and fight the motherfuckers you need to fight. Because at the end of the day, legacy is made on fighting the best fighters in any division. Black Light say he's just a clown. Are you saying he's just a clown on social media? You don't see him. You don't see him as talented. You don't see him as talented as anybody else on 135, or you just feel because of the way he carries himself with injuries or calling out fighters when nobody has fight signed. What don't you like? What don't you really like about him? That's what I'm getting at. Kara has to say he got his mind on his knob and another job. Hey man, you said it, not me. You said it like me, but hey, I'm gonna tell you about. I don't know if y'all watched NBA back in the day. Sean Kemp. I never thought he had a lot of children. He played for the Seattle Supersonics. One of the best. I like how powerful he was. Sean Kemp had like 30 or 40 kids or something like that. And what's sad about it, you working hard for your money, but they're going to the baby mamas. Yeah, when it says, I don't have that many. My brother, God bless him, he just had a baby boy, God bless him, Nico, and he's had more babies than me. I've only got 2, believe it or not. 2 when I'm Puerto Rican. I got 2. I got Brandon, and I got a 6-year-old. Yeah, Black, I was actually watching the fight and the highlights in that fight. Like I said, yeah, his footwork's not the best. I think one thing that I will say, and I get it, and like I was telling before, Joe Goosen is he's letting Ryan Garcia be who he is to get the best out of his fighter. And that's not saying that he's not going to teach him boxing. He probably understands Ryan Garcia better than any of them, believe it or not. And that being said, one thing that I know is a confidence builder for him, and all this other, when he does that fucking that punching thing, that butt bag that he goes back and forth, and this is what made me the best, blah 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 blah, and all this stuff, a little punching bag. He's gonna have to up that. I think he's got to hold his left hand a little bit higher. So like what happened in the Campbell fight with Campbell coming with a too beautiful, and that's not discrediting what Garcia did with his left hook and then left to the liver. But I'm saying Campbell Khan with two fucking beautiful right hands, right to the fucking nut, right here, boom. You know why? Because he had his hands too low. So I totally agree. His fundamentals got to get better. I think once he steps up to other better levels of fighters, he's gonna understand that. But sometimes a guy that's confident and has got his head built up that big, sometimes you can't talk to him. The only way he's gonna learn if another motherfucker like him will knock him down a couple of fucking times, and then he gets that first L. But that being said, I think Goosson's gonna get the best out of him. I don't think Reynoso did the best. I don't think Reynoso did the best for him. I don't really think so. I don't care what Canelo says. I don't care what they say. In my honest opinion, I don't think fucking Reynoso did the best. Simple as that. Yeah, we've been waiting for this fight for how long, Lafayette, Kathleen? How long we waiting for this fight? I've been wanting to see Tank Davis, but you know what? As much as you want to blame De La Hoya and the Golden Boy, you got to put blame on Mayweather and Long Nose Ellaby. You know why? Because they keep Tank and they keep Tank in the winning protection plan, and they keep him there for years. I mean, fighting 130, 135, when he goes 140 from 130 or 140, whatever, he's not fighting most of the fighters in his weight class, but they make him sound like he's a big seller, that he does this, that he's a star of boxing. But you got him in that if you got a pit bull and if you got a pit bull, right? And I'm not saying that you should go ahead and put pit bulls and do this. I'm not into all that animal crap. But I'm saying, but if you got a pit bull and you want him to be a motherfucking champion of all the pit bulls you got, what you got to do? You got to put that motherfucker with the pit bull that has the biggest bite and put him out there. If Tank Davis is like that, and I don't think Tank Davis is like that, to be honest. Tank Davis showed me something different in the pit bull cruise fight when in the interview, the post-interview in the ring, they asked him, do you want a rematch with Pitbull Cruz? What he said? No, hell no. Hell no. So he's going to have to show me, just like everybody else, he's got to get out of the cage, let that Pitbull go, and see what he's all about. Brian Kennedy. Canelo is scared to death of Bud Crawford, lighter and all. Canelo is scared to death of Bud Crawford, lighter and all. Are you saying that if Crawford moved up to 154, that Canelo won't fight him, or vice versa? I don't understand what he's saying. That he doesn't want to fight two real dogs like Crawford, or like who else can we say? The real dog that goes in and fucks you up and makes sure that. That's one thing you can say about Crawford. I don't care what you want to say. You can say somebody possibly dropped him. But one thing you will say about Crawford, when he gets you in the ring, there's no, there is no questioning when he wins the fight. He's going to do it with authority. He's going to beat you down. And he did it when he fought the cat from Australia. When he fought him, beat the hell out of him and showed the Pope. Crawford one of the best finishes in boxing. If Crawford or that fight ever happened, that'd be crazy. Kyle Hansen says, hit that like button. Hit for the best content on YouTube. Check out BT. Snap. Like I say, hit that like button like Ryan Garcia throws his left hook. Well, Sasa, if you're talking about that fighter, I can't think of his name. Shoot, I can't wait till Benny comes here. You know who is Stacey McLean trainer. You just got to get the best out of your fighter. And how they do whatever they got to do, that's what they do, so be it. If he's going to make you a world champion, bring money to your bank, you'll do whatever you can. So long as he stays disciplined to fighting. Canelo. Yeah, that'd be a great fight, but what's Canelo now? 160? Well, Canelo can go to what? To 160, 168, 175, all the way from 175 down. I think it'd be hard for Canelo to make 147, possibly 154. That'd be good, but then we have to see how Crawford looks at 154. Well, the Boo Boo fight, it's there's a lot about Boo Boo Andre. People don't understand. You gotta watch boxing. You gotta see what Boo brings in awkwardness himself. The style he brings with his movement. He's got that beautiful the over left he throws. There's a lot of awkwardness and movement to Boo Boo that people don't understand until you see it in the ring, and then it's too late. One thing I will not say about Canelo, because I mean, Caleb Plant made a lie out of me, is I was saying a lot of time, oh, Canelo can't deal with fighters that have movement, that can do this. I will say this, I will never say that again, but I will say until somebody, whether it's 160, what is it, 154, 160, 168, 175, even that far. I want to say 168, 165. Don't grab their skirts and stand up to him. You gotta put respect on Boo Boo Andre. No matter what the theories are out there, no matter what the media says about them, it's all in the ring. Bottom line, okay. My biggest thing with Canelo is he says Canelo is a horrible fighter. Okay, if he's a horrible fucking fighter, why haven't you fought him? Why hasn't Gigi fought him? Why haven't McGear fought him? These are guys that are monsters. You know what I'm saying? So, but he's a horrible fighter. It's just the same way that Gigi just came out a few days and said, what's Canelo talking about? That this is personal. But when we've had a second fight, we shook hands like professionals. I never seen nothing from him. So what the hell is he talking about? Is he saying it's personal because, well, he's not with Golden Boy now because Golden Boy screwed him over with some money probably, but at the time. So I don't understand why he's saying that. I just think he's trying to sell the fight. Man, I don't know, Jeremy Jones. I really don't know what Boo Boo got to do, to be honest with you. He might have to go up to New York and jump off the Empire State Building and land up straight up like a cat that's with his 9 lives to show people that he's willing to go everywhere. He's trying every option possible. My son said he's getting tired of a narrative with Boo Boo too, but I mean, what can he do? Every time he tries to do something, nothing works out for him. Okay, well, one day I'll get to see you sometime. Shout out to you too, man. Nah, come on, man. Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this, and I'll say it again. Canelo right now is just like a Mayweather of boxing. When Mayweather was the top of his prime, the top of everything. Canelo, one thing you can't say about Canelo, he's going up and down. Yeah, back in the past, I complained when he goes on all these weights. He put dehydration clause. He put stipulations, but I gotta give him respect. He hasn't put nothing for this 175-pound fight with Bivol. So you gotta give him his props. And whether Boo Boo attracts or not, only Providence, Rhode Island, where he's from. If you got Canelo's name behind, I don't care where you go, he's gonna sell. Canelo will sell anywhere. So he's gonna make money either way. He's gonna get his 10 million, 20 million regardless. All I want is to see the fight. That's all I want to see. I want to see Canelo go out and do that. We'll see. Black Light says Ryan's scared of Haney. I think I was reading today. I could have sworn I was reading today about that, but they were saying that the Haney sent the contract, and they was claiming that Haney had a contract. But that Haney had the contract, but in reality, they never got that contract. So it's a back and forth. We really don't know. Bottom line is, put him with the best. If he gets fucked up, he gets fucked up. But Ryan's got to stand up and take those fights. He's got to take the biggest fight that I see. Like I say for him was the Campbell fight. Campbell exposed him, believe it or not. Got knocked down. He showed coverage. He came out. He's gonna have to fight Tank. Gonna have to fight Rolly. Gonna have to fight whoever else is 135 that's there for him. He's gonna have to stand up to him. He has to. Okay, I want to say I think Ryan has a better chance of beating George than Haney. BT's getting attached to Haney. That's why he said it's like the Rosario versus Charlo got close. No, I'm not gonna say that. BT calls it the way he sees it. I'm not gonna agree with you on that. My son has no attach. The only attachment that I see my son really be attached to, Boo Boo Andre. And a lot of people say it's biased to Boo Boo Andre, whatever. But all his argument is to that is that Boo Boo Andre, he just wants Canelo to sign the contract and fight him. Whether he beats Boo Boo Andre, whether he kicks his ass all over the ring, it's okay. But don't call him a horrible fighter. You have all the power in the world to fight Boo Boo Andre, and you don't want to do it. So, but I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say that. I have to respectfully disagree with you on there, bro. Togo, the biggest fight that Togo's had was against Dennis Menard. I think his name Menard. And Menard fought Teofimo, if I'm correct. And I forgot there was another decent fight. He was 25 and something. And that was his biggest fight. And he hasn't fought like 2 years, I think. But hey, anything can happen in boxing. It says, Haney's Gorilla needs to fight higher weight. I think he's having problems too making 135. So I don't think, like I said earlier, if he doesn't go ahead and move up, he's only going to hurt himself. I mean, why stay at 135 when you know you can't make it anymore? Like I say, Tago fought the biggest. I was looking at BoxRec, and the biggest fight that I seen for Tago was against Dennis Menard. And Menard was a good fighter, 25 and something. But at the same token, he hasn't fought in a while, so we'll see. Black Light says, okay, hold on. Black Light says, Black Light says, oh, okay. Oh, guys, hold on. This fucking thing. I'm using this. Oh no. Okay, hold on, guys. Yeah, Black Light says, let me get this down. Get this thing down. Let me go on my channel. Let me go over here. Back this up a minute. Oh my God. La. Yeah, hold on. I want to what Black Light says. If I can get this small up again. Just gotta have patience. Pissing me off. Yeah, Black Light says that let me get back here. Let me go. I'm gonna come back in a few minutes. Hello, guys. I'm back. Hold on. Let me get this situated. I'm sorry about that. Okay. What was I at? I'm back, guys. Canelo versus Usyk. I mean, that'd be a good fight if that ever happened to Canelo versus Usyk. But I mean, Canelo got to worry about his fights coming up now. But that'll be down the road. Who knows? I won't put nothing past Usyk. But right now, he's got to concentrate on what Adam says. Yeah. So well, that'll be a great fight. We'll see what happens with that. If it happens right now, Usyk got to worry about going to war, taking care of his family up there. Well, I'm glad I made you laugh, man. I just had to put it up there. I'm just saying that, what do you think about him? I'm not saying he's going to be king. I'm just basically saying, do you think he's the future of the division? That's what I'm asking. And it was a good laugh. It's a good laugh. But at the same time, you can't doubt. Don't sleep on Ryan Garcia. I think he's had mental problems. He's got a bad reputation of calling out fighters when they're already fighting. So I get what you're saying, but I'm just bringing it out there. What do you guys think? I see how you feel. Got a good laugh, and I'm happy. That's one comment I wanted to see from Black. Oh shit! What? Doug Boy, when did that come out? Because I didn't see nothing. That must have just come out recently. When did it come out? Ryan, footwork is suspect as F. You know what? He flat-footed and he don't understand timing and placing the lead leg battle, and he's always open for big shots. By the way, his position defense is really. Yeah, you're right. Like I was telling you, the only reason that like I said, the only reason that he got I say that because if you look at the Luke Campbell fight, he holds his left hand low, right, and when he throws it so low that he leaves himself open for the right. That's why he got caught with a knockdown from Luke Campbell, and Campbell caught him again. Campbell caught him a couple times in the fight, so I agree with you on that one. You saying okay, Doug Boy? Are you saying Boops and his fights Rocha? That fight's not even for me. It's not even close. Hell no. Rocha did beat what's his name, Blair the Flair, but Boots Ennis is not Blair the Flair. Come on now. Boots Ennis will beat the shit out of Rocha. That's right, says Chocolatito. I know they asked Rocha when he was going to fight again, and I basically said, the money's right or his team allows it, then he'll have the fights or whatever the case may be. So we won't really know what the deal. We won't know what's going to happen. He did fight a good fight. He shut up. I'm still a big believer. I still like Blair the Flair, regardless how you talk. I think you need boxers like that. You need boxers that can come out there and literally go ahead and promote themselves. Yeah, he got his ass fucking whooped, but people know who Blair the Flair is because he knows how to promote himself. And I was watching Paulie's TV, Paul Malajani, and he was talking about that fighters need to know how to promote themselves. And I didn't see the video, but I'm definitely going to check it out because I listen to a lot of things Paul Malajani say. I don't say I agree with everything, but he's pretty good at what he says. Okay, let's see what we got here. Ray Robinson said, Brock, Ryan dropped Blair Cobb's sparring match and nobody recorded it. Okay, that shit happens, you know what I mean? Shit happens like that. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but at the same time, you just don't know. Puerto Rico, Mexico. That's right, Cesar. He's in Las Vegas. He's in Las Vegas. I don't know what he's doing. He should come in and scream. He knows I'm live, so I don't know what he's up to. Maybe he's going to. Maybe he's doing some interviews, getting in contact. Sometimes you got to go see fighters late at night, so he's not here right now. But he usually comes in. So we'll see when we see him. J.D. Wallace says tough opponents give Ryan anxiety. We have to be patient. Yeah, well, we got to see. I mean, I will say that he's up to any challenge right now. I think he's him changing camps, being with Goosen. I think if he can go ahead and get by Tago and keep himself in a good frame of mind, there's no telling. But he's got to step up and fight the big dogs. He's got to fight a Tank. He's got to fight a Rolly. He's got to fight a David Haney. He's got to fight a name that will give him that resume that he needs. Yeah, I mean, some fighters just don't know how to do that. They don't know how to promote themselves, how to talk. If you see Rolly's crazy. Rolly Romero, or the Xboxer known as Rolly, you know that he that's all he does is talk shit. He talks a lot of junk. When Adrian Broner was fighting, he talked a lot of junk. You know what I'm saying? So everybody talks junk. Right now, I'm sitting talking boxing. After this, I can't call the night, relax, take my medication like I always do. Relax. What else can I do? Yeah. So like I was saying, having Goosen in there. It's going to help Ryan, I think. Leaving the Reynoso's camp, maybe it was too much pressure for Ryan. He couldn't do what he wanted to do. But at the end of the day, I mean, he just got to fight the better fighters. You know, simple as that. He's got to fight the better fighters. And I'll just leave it like that. You know, hopefully, I think that, you know, once he steps up to the plate and fights somebody, because Campbell was his best shot, and Campbell did test him and took him down and he had to get back and pull himself together. So imagine if he fought Tank, or he fought a David Haney, or he fought a Rolly, or he fought, who else is 135? I can't think of the names right now. You know, it'd be tough for him, but he's got to prove himself just not to himself, but also the fans. Listen, man. Cesar, life's too short, man. If you let everything around you get to you, you get miserable, depressed, and whatever, you're just letting time go by. Focus on the positivity and keep yourself positive. That's the only way to go about it. Yeah, it's the only way to go about it. But, I mean, this weekend you got Burchell fighting. He's come back fighting Burchell. You got Tim Tszyu fighting Terrell Garcia. I like that fighting card. I like Tim Tszyu, man. Tim Tszyu, man, I think they were asking, I think BT was going to ask him, was he willing to fight a Spence or a Crawford? And he said, I'll fight anybody. I like that old back in the day fighters that they don't care. They'll fight anybody. So I want to see how Tim Tszyu does in the U.S. I want to see if you fight Terrell Garcia after that fight, who's going to fight next. Then you got the lightweight, which I'm really big on, Michelle Rivera against the Puerto Rican Joseph Adorno. And then who else on the card? Then there's also Elvis Rodriguez that I used to be on Top Rank. He's a welterweight, and he also was good. Oh, I didn't see. I didn't see who he posted is going to fight. Do you remember who it is, Brian? Do you know who he said? I don't know who he's going to fight at 140. But whoever it is, I don't think it's going to be the top of the top at 140. I'll tell you that right now. And you know, the only time we'll tell who he really is going to be. But if you know, let me know. That's good to know. Because I mean, Teofimo, I think he's going to come back and I mean, yeah, he went through his stuff and he had problems. I think he's still talented, very skillful, and he can go up in his division. He can do the new division. And if you get, and I will say the only way that Teofimo, to me, that's going to have really success, he's got to have another listening ear back there besides his dad. His dad's got to take a back seat. Yeah, he can be there for him in the input, but he's got to take a back seat and let somebody else try to carry the reins on a real horse. And you know, keep a lot of drama out of his son's life while he's actually training. You know what I mean? Just go ahead, you talk your shit, do your thing, but don't go so far overboard that your son's got to be on top of you for everything and it takes him away from boxing. You got to sometimes be man enough to understand that, man enough to take responsibility for yourself while your son is training, as far as Teofimo goes. So I'll leave it at that on that. There was another fight that was who else was fighting? Rochelle. Josh Taylor fighting I think Kiki Martinez, and this is like a rematch from the last fight they had 5 years ago. Not Josh Taylor, I'm sorry, Josh Warrington. Josh Warrington and Kiki Martinez. I think that's going to be a good fight. I think I like Warrington, but Warrington's gotten big-headed lately, so I kind of lost a little glimmer from him. So I would love to see Kiki come for the upset. Yeah, I remember telling Sarah, listen back. You're going back, Enrique. You're going way back. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, I look like him. I mean, I got to get my teeth and stuff. Let me get better. You know what I mean? But I used to watch, what's his name? I used to watch, the song of the show was, don't go to bed. There's the price in your head. Don't do it. I forgot his name. Spanish. I think it was Spanish. Oh, Beretta. That's probably past your time. The show was called Beretta. He had a parrot in his hand, but he wasn't bald though. He was Spanish. But I remember Terry. Terry was one of the best actors back in the day. Damn, you taking me way back, Enrique. But now, so Usyk is flying back to fight Edge. How true is this possible? What have you read? Well, I think yesterday I read two things about that. At one time I was reading Eddie Hearn says, yeah, the fight was is done. Usyk is coming back. The fight's gonna get done. But then like 3 hours later, Eddie Hearn tried to backtrack that because that's not what really happened. Eddie Hearn came out and said that Usyk is not going away. He's gonna be staying for the fight. So until you literally see it, it's just hearsay. And what I like the most is when Kilmer's management, the manager that promotes Lomachenko and Usyk came out and they really got on fucking Compinger from ESPN that came out with the news and this and that. And he told him, if you don't know what you're talking about, you need to shut the fuck up. So, there you go. So I don't think he's coming back yet. I think it's just people jumping the gun. He might have. I did hear that the Ukrainian government ministry offered Lomachenko and Usyk that they will give them permission for them at the certain right where they're at right now. They can come back and go to the fight, and they come back to the country. And they say, no, we're not doing that. We're here for our country. We're going to stay here. So I'm with the Ukrainian government. I don't think they're going to come back. I don't care what Mike Kappa says. I definitely don't care what fucking Eddie Hearn says because they're both good salesmen. So no. Oh shit! I remember Celestino Caballero. You asked me this question before, I think. When it says Crawford would say would be a big fight in Walter. You're only as good as your last dance, and I'll be honest with you. Check out that also on Paul's channel. He actually gave a breakdown on the Catterall and Taylor fight, and I told you what he said. The same thing. I thought Catterall should have won the fight, but to me, you're only as good as your last dance. Taylor he underperformed his last fight. So for me, whether he goes to 140 or 147, Taylor's going to come out and have to fight like he did before, like a real dog. He cannot just go in there and expect that. And I think, and I'm not to take time up for Taylor because I'm a big fan of Taylor. Taylor literally at 140, I don't think he can make that 140 anymore. I think he just go 147. But that would be a great fight if Taylor can get back to rankings and do his thing. Because I don't care about these fucking belts he won. He's not really the true champion. The real champion is Catterall. You know, that's how I feel about that. Catterall is a real champion. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not because he is. And, you know, that's the way I'm going to see it. I'm not going to see no different. Guys, hit that like button if you haven't. You're here with me. 16 of you hit that like button. I really appreciate you being here. The biggest thing that we've been talking about is I know a lot of guys want to see it. Can Ryan Garcia be the king of the division? Do you think he has a possibility? I'm going to say it like this. If Mayweather do not tank out the witness protection, and yes, I will give them credit. They're going to probably make the fight with Rolly Romero, the boxer known as Rolly Romero. You know what I'm talking about, Rolly. And basically, he's finally putting him up with Rolly. But I want to see Tank fight top of the top, creme of the creme, before we can say anything about that. I think tomorrow, I think there's some fights tomorrow. I think I was checking it out. I think it's Friday night or what's tomorrow, Thursday. I don't know. I have to talk to Hyro. Hyro's not here right now, but I'll let him. I'll see what's going on. If you see me live and I'm commentating a fight, then you know I'm going live. Either way, I'll let you know. You guys just go ahead, like I said, hit that like button. The more likes we get, the better it's going to get out. And I appreciate all you guys coming. Michael Holy. I think Garcia will be champion one day. He's really impressive, especially that lethal left hand. Yeah, he's got the lethal hand, but I'm going to tell you what I see from him. I was watching the Campbell fight today. He drops it too low, and that's how he got caught with those two fucking right hands by Campbell. He's going to have to work on that, and hopefully Garcia can get the best out of him. Repetition, keep the game plan simple with Ryan. And I think he's in a comfort zone right now by leaving the Reynolds, and just, we'll see what happens with him. He's got to come out and give an impressive fight against Togo. That's not taking nothing away from him. Alapel, what's going on, man? What do just tune in? What I missed and hell to the fuck? No about Ryan. Ryan with that height should be able to champ in different divisions, but he won't. Yeah, you're right. That's one thing that they were saying. They were saying, well, basically, I was just talking about Ryan Garcia. Do you think that him being in a good mental state, him changing trainers from Goosen to Reynoso's? We know who's Goosen has trained. He's trained Michael Nunn. He's trained Riddick Bowe. He's trained Corrales. He's trained Amir Khan. Then you got Reynoso, who trained the face of boxing today. Canelo. He's got Frank Sanchez. He got Martinez. He got Oscar Valdez. To me personally, I think so. Basically, I would just bring out how he switched trainers. Goosen has known Ryan since he was 14 years old. They came back together. Ryan is doing Ryan. He's doing his boxing gym. He's doing his workouts. He's going on social media, doing his thing. But I think, to be fair to Goosen, he knows what Ryan's gone through mentally, and I think in order for him to get the best of Ryan, he's going to go ahead and teach him the repetition that he's known for, teach him the inside game more. But I think that, to me personally, I think Goosen is going to get the best out of him by allowing him to be who he is, and that's probably the best way that you're going to get out of Ryan. I don't think being in Reynoso that fight was a different atmosphere that nobody agreed with and nobody liked it. He didn't like it, so he moved on. So be it. Well, yeah, I was just talking about him, the possibility if he beats Togo. I personally think Togo is Peter Khan as his manager, and so is Cambosis. I think down the road, if Damian Haney doesn't come out and sign that contract as soon as he can, I think possibly if Ryan beats Togo convincingly, no disrespect to Togo, Del Hoyo came out and said, I'm going to try to make that fight. And then I also was talking about Cambosis and Ryan Garcia going back and forth on, I think it was Twitter. They were going back and forth. Ryan Garcia was telling Cambosis that, Teofimo is a lot skillful, a lot better than you. And, you just caught Teofimo at a bad time and you got the best of him. And he was saying that Teofimo was going through a lot of things in his health and also outside with family stuff. So you just caught him at the right time when he was going through a lot of stuff. But Ryan said healthy, Teofimo will beat the shit out of you, Cambosis. Obviously, Cambosis didn't like that. Cambosis came back on our social media and he came out and said, Ryan, you need to get off of social media. Don't worry about your social content, and you should be worrying about your Togo fight. That's what you should be doing. But at the same time, Cambosis says, I will fight you, but right now you're not deserving to fight me. But if it came to that, yeah, I will fight you, of course. So don't be surprised if the fight happens. I'm telling you that right now. So that's what we do about Ryan Garcia. We talked about that. I talked a little bit about the coming fights this weekend. You got Burchell coming back after his last defeat to Oscar Valdez. He's fighting this weekend on ESPN. You got Tim Tszyu fighting against Terrell Garcia, and I like that fighting card. I really like a lot. They got Michael Rivera. I like him against Joseph Ordona. I'm big on Michael Rivera, the lightweights. And then you also got Alves Rodriguez, who used to be on ESPN. Now he's at the BBC fighting on that card. You also got Obviously, Josh Warrington fighting against Kiki Martinez. Kiki Martinez, and this is like a rematch from 5 years ago. So I would like to see Kiki Martinez win only because I think Josh Warrington has got a big head. There was a fight that he was fighting before him, and he turned it down for whatever reason. Sorry, Ben Adams. Hit the likes, Pop. Do you think Keith Thurman can be a world champion again? That's got. I can see his motivation. I can see what happens, but I cannot judge. I'm not going to judge him on his last fight with Barrios. But if the door opens for Keith's one time, he's done it before. He talks the game. Why not? It'd be good for boxing. I'm glad he's back for boxing. I personally think that and BT was lobbying and saying that one time will probably most likely Spence will probably fight after the Ugas fight. If he wins that fight, will probably fight one time, but he'll rather fight one time than fight Crawford. So yeah, the sky's the limit. One time, I still like him. Yeah, he took a break from boxing. He wants to come back and get the big fights. Where is he still to the top of his game like he was when he left? No, but I mean, he's got to fight a chance like anybody else. As Heffa says, Pop, Sonny Edwards is a hype job. If he fights a Ukrainian WBA champion, he's going to get messed up. Sonny has no power. No, he doesn't have no power. I don't know who you're referring to from the WBA, but I was watching him, and but one of the things that BT brought to me was telling me that Sonny Edwards is very elusive, very quick, and his speed and the way he moves, he makes you missing a lot of shots that you don't see. The last fight, I don't think I was honestly not that much impressed with Sonny. I think Sonny, to me, I wanted to see more from him. I think that Muhammad Wasim got the best of him at times, and so he can be caught. But BT would beg to differ with that. But he doesn't have no power. Don't make me laugh, Daniel Oscar. But they should fire Mike Carpenter and hire Pops to be the SPN boss. Man, well, they got rid of, I told you that you never got rid of, and I really like him a lot. I'm a big fan of him, and sometimes I go to his channel. I like Teddy Atlas, man. I don't care what they say about Teddy. I just like him. He trained around one of the best, and got Stamato. I like the way he comes, got the New York accent or whatever accent. I like Teddy Atlas. And you know who's a good guy that should go there, and I wish that he could go? And I wish like somebody that's even keel, that's not jumping the gun without doing something and can be fair. I think the reporter from Fight Hype, I think you should go and be there. But if I go there, they're gonna fire me the first day because I'll be straightforward. I'm gonna try to be biased for no fucking. I'm not gonna be no company man. I'm not gonna be like this. I probably won't even get my first check. No. Oh, exactly. All right. El Único Concho, who's your favorite Puerto Rican boxer? Man, Puerto Rico has so many great fighters that just not even one. It's all of them that are good. But one that comes to mind a lot, I like Bazooka Gonzalez. You know that he was hurt in Puerto Rico, that he was living in bad conditions. It came out a month ago. I was reading about it, and his home was like he was not living on unhealthy conditions. It's so sad. Some of these famous boxers didn't take care of their money or take care of they can take care of themselves, and to get to a mental state where you got to was very sad when I seen Bazooka Gonzalez goes through that. But he's one of my favorite. Definitely like Felix Trinidad. You know, you got Cotto. You name it. There's a lot of great ones. You like Wilfredo Benitez, rest in peace, one of the youngest heavyweight champions. Right now, I'm big on Zayas, Berlanga if he gets his shit together. You know what I mean? But as far as Puerto Rico, they got a lot of great fighters. But for me right now, probably I always say Bazooka Gonzalez. I like him. I like when he fought Sanchez, and for me, it's very popular. Cotto's another one I like. Definitely like Felix Trinidad, and I like, yeah. I like Tim Zuma. I just like the way he's talking. I'm not taking that away from Terrell. I think he's gonna. There's a reason why he's fighting him. I think it was like a last replacement. I forgot who Tim Zuma was supposed to fight before him, and they called Terrell. And I'm not taking that away from him, but I just like the way the demeanor of Tim Zuma, the way he talks. It gives me that feeling of that old back in the day motherfucking fighter. He doesn't have to have the bling bling. He doesn't have to have the name brand car, the name brand clothes, that showing the cameras. Give two fucks about that. He just goes in the ring and gets everything done. He says it every time. He said it in an interview. I'm a BT without interview. Go check it out on his channel. He said when he goes in that ring, or if I have a chance to tell, check it out. He said, when he goes in that ring, I'm in there to fight and take you out. I ain't there to be your buddy. I like his mentality. I like everything about him. And I wish nothing like the best. And the same thing with Kambosos. That's what I like about Kambosos. People say, oh, Kambosos now is a diva. Kambosos is not doing this. Kambosos, oh, he said he's going to fight Haney first. But people forget that when it's that first interview with Haney, he said, if the money is right. I remember that sentence. I'll get the video. If the money was right. So I think he can toot his horn, how he accomplished what he did. And he's the A side, no matter how you want to look at it. So let him talk his shit. Because anybody that was in the position, if anybody, no disrespect to Teofimo and Teofimo Senior, they were talking to their horn the whole time. And that's one reason why he fucking lost the fight. Because he became complacent. So let Kambosos enjoy his time, because you don't know when it's going to be his last time, him having those belts. Give him his respect, throw him the flowers, and he's calling the shots. And if you don't like it, that's too fucking bad. Al Lapel says, imagine Ryan with a southpaw, black or Hispanic. Whew. Just imagine. We don't know, because you know, no disrespect to Ryan. I guess his background is he's American Mexican, but he's got some of that in him. But he's got to sign it up a little bit more. Oh, he's talking about okay. You talking about that fight? Man, that's a tough fight. I like Team Tszyu the way he's talking. He's a lot different than his dad, but he fights real good. Oh my God, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna take the UD. I'll take the UD, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a KO. Nah. Teddy Atlas. Sometimes a lot of times what happens is with people with Teddy Atlas, and I'm not saying he's right all the time, and the way he is, one that says, but I'm gonna tell you one thing about Teddy Atlas. For me, the way I feel, he talks it with the way he sees it. You see why he's not on Top Rank anymore? You know why he's not there on Top Rank anymore? Because he's not one of those biased motherfuckers that's gonna sit there and hold back his narrative and sit back and talk what the CEOs want, what the Showtime want, or whatever the fucking thing. No, he can call it the way he sees it, and people don't like that. People don't like that. They don't like to see. They don't want people that talk real. They don't like that. So I'm not saying he's right all the time, but to me, I like the way he calls out things, the way he says it. And if you go against the media or you say things against the narrative of the media, then you're fucking wrong. And that's why they get right at him, because he announced a lot of fights. He says shit the way it is, and I gotta respect that. But I'll respect your opinion. Hey, I'll just put it to you this way. One that says, I don't like Puerto Rican boxers, but to say I don't Puerto Ricans is not true. I love Bad Bunny. Yeah, Bad Bunny's good, but I'll even get back to home with that. Have you seen some beautiful Puerto Rican women from the island? I bet you like them when you go to the beaches, right? You like those nalguitas, right? You like those nice thighs, and right? You like that, right? So you like that hot andule, rice and beans, and pernil pork, you know? Come on, man. Healthy Puerto Rican women. Come on. You know you love that. Might not be the best. You can't hate. Every culture has good and bad. There's a balance in everything. Cojanito malo, ¿verdad? Oh, yeah, Daniel Vasquez. If that ever happened, that'd be a great fight. I don't know how long Gervonta's going to stay at 135, though. I don't know if we can still make the weight easily for him. But let's see what Berchelt does now. I mean, he was a monster at 130, but let's see what he does at 135. This weekend is his first fight at 135. He already came out and said he wants this fight and another fight, then he wants to get a title fight. So that would be a friggin' fire fight. The question is not if Berchelt's willing to fight him. The question is, will Mayweather and LB allow that? But before we can even talk about that, Tank Davis got to worry at the matter of hand with Rolly, because he the boxer formerly known as Rolly, whatever, you got to worry about him. I mean, every announcer got any announcer got Pops. What do you think of David Diamante? Find him so annoying, saying their name twice. Every announcer has their own way of saying it. Look at this motherfucker making $1 million just to say let's get ready to rumble. You know how many times you hear that in a fucking fight? Like that guy, that motherfucker came out smart, and only in America you get like that. I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about? Let's get ready to rumble. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so I get what you're saying, but every announcer has their own little way of saying things, and it becomes annoying. I like Dave, believe it or not. I like him, you know, because he, you know, he lives a crazy life. He takes chances on things. It's just the way he's a wild, crazy guy. But I mean, he's got the voice for it. I know, like I say, there's a lot of announcers that I don't like. There's a lot of people I can't come by that get on my nerves. But you know, you're entitled to your opinion. You're right about that. I like, let's go. I mean, yeah, let's get ready to rumble. And then you got David and Diamante saying from all corners of the earth, or whatever he says. Then you got Jim Lennon Jr. He's very humble. He don't say all that shit. So I mean, you just gotta, you know, ignore that and just enjoy the fight because he's only staying there for a few minutes. I get what he's saying though. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I said either UD or possibly okay. I think Tim's gonna come here. He's gonna come here and make a splash. No, now that he's coming here to America, he wants to do it in a real fashion. And why not go coming here to America and fuck this guy up? No disrespect to him, and do a knockout because that's what people want to see. A1 says it's a 200 likes and possible go live for WrestleMania. Shit, I won't just go live. I'll be in the ring. I'll be in the ring of WrestleMania. Yeah. Woo! That's the Flair the Blair. Then you had, I took my son to see Hulk Hogan when he was little, doing all this shit. Woo, you know, so yeah, man, you got that right. Daniel Vasquez says, Rolly Tomatoes Cup is going to get knocked the fuck out. Hey, man, if it happens, it happens, but I'm not going to sleep on him. He's got an awkward way of fighting. Sometimes the awkwardness of fighting that he's learning from the Cuban side or his dad or whatever is very awkward, can throw a lot of fighters off in their timing, so you just never know in boxing. And let's not sleep on it. Rolly got some power in his punches too. But I mean, this is a big fight for both of them. And if Tank really wants to make a statement, get rid of Rolly if he thinks that's going to happen, and go on to the next. Okay, Troy Sawyer says, Atlas has a personal agenda against Champ Andre because he's always talking down on him, not getting into big fights. Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't listened to him that much to find out if he hates Andre that much, this and that. But everybody's entitled to their opinions. If you want to be real on that, you might as well say that fucking Canelo got a personal agenda with Boo Andre. I mean, I know he's an announcer, but now we're talking about the face of boxing. He's got a personal agenda with him, because if you tell me that he's a shitty boxer, or he can't fight, or he can't do this, Canelo's gonna make money. Let's get it out the way. Canelo he's a face of boxing now. He's a TV boxer right now, like Floyd was back in the day. Canelo is gonna make money wherever the fuck he goes. I don't care what you tell me. But if you want to get really real and say that, and I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying I have to look into that more. I'm just saying that if that's the case, I could literally just go back and say about Canelo with Boo Andre. Okay, he's horrible, but you're not fighting. You're not supporting the facts because you haven't got your balls to get in there and fight him. So whatever. Yeah, Harold, maybe me and you will be the main event. How about that? You and me will be the main event. How about that, Harold? Huh? Look at that. The link was streaming. Hold on, guys. Oh man, Ultimate Warrior. I grew up in, and I can tell you about boxing for the longest time. I grew up wrestling with the Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man. It's Macho Man. I grew up with Chief J. Strombo. I grew up in Puerto Rican fighter Vito Rivera, Pedro Morales, Bruce Sammartino. You name it, man. I remember that they had the who I used to like a lot. I really like the British Bulldogs. You name it. So yeah. But yeah, the Ultimate Warrior was one of the best, man. It's sad that he's gone. The other guy that just passed away was another. His name was Ramon Razor Ramon. Remember him? And he was with the NWO or something else now. So yeah, so there's been a lot of great fighters. What's sad about I don't know much about boxers, but I know in wrestling they always either end their life or they drink or drugs. And I'm not saying it's right, but then I could see that being stressful because consistently 365 days away from practically from your family, consistently. Come on. So yeah, so I respect who you like. I used to like Ultimate. Cool guy says, boxers don't like Canelo, don't make money. Bro, they make all the currency in the bank of millions of dollars if fights shish. Yeah, and like my son says, Canelo's like a special breed, and he's the face of boxing, so he's going to get more shots to opening who he wants to call in. That's not easy for every fighter. Fighters don't have that choice. A lot of them have to go through the manager. And I'm not saying Canelo don't do that. A lot of them got to go through whatever politics together, like every other boxer, but not Canelo. Canelo, you see him jumping up and down with all this kind of stuff. I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying. Yeah, Scott Hall. My name is Razor Ramon. We had a toothpick in his mouth and everything. He just passed away. Rest in peace. Yeah, another guy that was Benoit. That guy was great, but he was crazy what he did with his family with drugs and everything. That was sad. There's a lot of sad stories in that, though. I used to be here in Hollywood, Florida, and I used to watch the Animal Steel. The guy that used to eat the thing, boxing ring, pillows, and everything. He used to live here in Hollywood, Florida. Troy Scare says, of course, that goes without question about no cojones. Canelo, oh shit, having a personal agenda against a boogeyman champ Andre because his cherry picking ass can't beat him. Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're gonna say you're the big bully on the block, then you gotta prove it. I don't care. I don't care how anybody wants to sugarcoat it. If I'm in high school and somebody want to try me, and I'm sure, and I got into a lot of fights in high school because I didn't take shit from nobody, even at work. You see, I'm short. I'm barely 5 feet, but I got some fucking strength on me, and I don't take shit from nobody. That's how it should be. If you want to gain my respect, if I'm gonna say you're a punk or you're a bitch, then okay. But okay, if I'm a punk and a bitch, let's get it done. Whether in the street, the backyard, where you want to get done, let's get it done. Just prove your point. But don't sit there and call me out and say I'm horrible, but you have no reasoning behind that. You have no reasoning behind that because you never got in the ring with me. But whatever, it's Canelo. Yeah, El Lapel, good point you brought that out. One of the options that Canelo has, believe it or not, that I'm really intriguing about him fighting the Guerrilla Rider in the UK. Canelo, as I said before, he would love to fight in the UK, so why not? I'm willing to bet I'd rather see Canelo go to the UK and fight John Ryder than go to fucking fight this guy Magaboo. I'm serious. I mean, there's levels to boxing. No disrespect to Magaboo. But honestly, and I think the fight that Canelo's probably gonna get in Guadalajara, whatever, from Mexico, it's gonna be the Magaboo fight. But honestly, I don't want to see that. I'd rather see him go to Ryder. Ryder's got a better chance of beating the shit out of Canelo. And I'm not saying he's gonna win, but they're built, they're formed, they're both stocky, they're both. I'll be a great fight, I think. Well, Eddie Morales, it's like this. Right now, he calls the shots. He can do whatever he wants. He basically came out and said, I don't know if you heard it earlier in the month, but he came out and said, hey, I'm going to be real busy, so everybody needs to fight each other, and then I'll decide who I'm going to fight next. So I'm a big fan of Benavidez, and I'll be honest with you, and I'm a big fan of Bubani, but Benavidez, as long as he's got that manager, I'm always going to have a question mark about him getting a fight with Canelo, to be honest with you. Because that would be a great fight for Cinco de Mayo, believe it or not. It says, so sad about Razor Ramon. Apparently he broke his hip and he was on the floor for days. Up to when they found him lying there, yeah, it's sad, man. It's sad. You get old, man. You don't realize, people in society like it's just sad. It just goes on. My praise goes to his family. He was great for wrestling. So yeah, I just think what it is. Mexicans gonna support their fighters no matter who they are. Win or lose, they're gonna love them. That's just the way Mexican fighters are. That's probably allegiance to anybody else who have their culture, whatever. In my own opinion, saying that Canelo can't do no wrong. That's how it's going to be until somebody can really step up there and fight him and challenge him. And the funny is, we're talking about this, but a lot of this, I didn't know until I think this year was early last year that Reynoso was his manager. I never would have thought that Reynoso was his manager. So Canelo, his career has been carefully guided by Reynoso. So I'm just saying, like, if you really want the legacy fights, if you really want to be a true legend, and you want to fight, and you want to say you're a true Mexican, you fight the top of the gun. So when you 20 years gone, and your name is up there won't be no questions of why you didn't fight this guy who was the better in the division, this and that. I just wish him the best. I don't want to talk bad about Canelo because I've done it for so many years. I'm just letting him be. Whatever he does going to do, eventually what comes around goes around. I'll leave it at that, Alapel says, Charlo and Benavidez is the biggest fights he can make. He probably beat Charlo by lots of money. Charlo be having Drake backing them up. Listen, man, he could have had those fights before he signed with the Zone. I think he signed with the Zone for 2 fight or 3 fight. I don't know what it is. I think it's 3 fight. I think he signed with the home Zone. He could have signed with PBC and Al Heyman. They offered those fights to him, believe it or not. But that being said, again, I think Benavidez' manager would go for that because biggest fight money-wise for Benavidez. But Jamal, I don't know, man. Jamal, to me, he's in a different fucking world. After watching him against in hot boxing with Mike Tyson, when Mike Tyson put him on blast, but people could tell him out loud, like, who you want to fight, and he tells me, I'm just going to fight whoever, the best, or whatever the fuck he said. I lost all respect for him. So, to me, I don't think he's deserving even to come close to Canelo. Serious. He can't even get his own balls to go live on TV and say who he wants to fight. He has to have Mike Tyson, the legend, try to talk to him. Get out of here. But I mean, I respect what you're saying, but I'm just saying Charles not worthy. Oh, you just go as Jefe. You're already on StreamYard. Just go ahead and you want to talk? I don't have my speaker thing here. Brendan's got it with him. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna see if I can use his headphones tomorrow. And I'll definitely have opening. I'll do that one night. I'll go live and just open up the mic, see if I can do it. And then that way you all can talk to me. I appreciate that. I'll do that tomorrow for y'all, Jefe. Well, unless I'm covering a fight, I'll see if I can find some speakers or figure out how to use his headphones. And I'll try it out the other day. Okay, Jefe? I'll make sure. Come back tomorrow. I'll open it up for everybody. Elder Paul said, nobody praying on downfall. Just if you king, back it up against David. Yeah, man. But I'm saying the David fight's not going to have. Jamal's fight is not going to. Jamal's fight, he's not going to get a big fight. Look who he's fighting now. No disrespect to Salaki. Salaki is decent, wanted fight. He's good, this and that. But he could have fought somebody else better than that. I'm sorry. And he's not doing that. So a lot of the problems is him and Al Heyman not putting the top fights for him. So to me, he's not deserving. Now, if we're talking about Benavidez, I like to see. I've been saying it for a long time. I want to see him against Canelo. I think that'd be a great fight, and I'm taking Benavidez. I don't care what nobody tells me. I'm going with Bandera Roja, red flag. I'm going with him all the way. But it's not going to happen. But the possibility of them both fighting each other would have been if Canelo would have taken that route, but he didn't. That's right, Cesar. It's a good point. God rules. Amen. Eddie Morales. Can I rather fight 40-year-old GG than Boo Boo? He's undefeated in his prime. Isn't that what Canelo fans say? Yeah, I mean, they're gonna say anything right now. They like, okay, I don't want to go back on Canelo. I'm just because it doesn't matter what I say. The man's gonna do it. But at the end of the day, and I'm gonna say it again, until he fights Benavidez, until he fights Boo Boo. And when Charlo can get his head out of his ass and fight Charlo, I think until he fights those top dogs, in that case, and then now I'm happy he's fighting Bivol. So if he gets Bivol, fight Bitteriv, what's his name, Bitteriv, Fight him. Who else is 175? I said I would like to see him fight. Grab his balls and fight all these guys, and he can beat the majority of them. He will get my respect. But that's not happening. So you know the deal already. Gigi, to me, I'm not really interested in this fucking trilogy thing. Gigi, to me, in his last fight that I seen him fight, to me, look older than older. He's not back to his prime. He's still got knockout power, but he's not beating Canelo. Maybe a few years ago he could, but not now. Yeah, bad hombre. Boo Boo is doo-doo, but so is Boo Boo is doo-doo, but so is the Canelo for not taking the fight. So who's more shit? Tell me that. I'm just saying, who you think who's more shit? Boo Boo can be doo-doo, right? But you can't say that because Canelo don't want to take the fight and fight him in the ring. Simple as that. You can't say somebody is doo-doo or horrible if you can't get in the ring and prove it. Now, if Canelo goes in there and beats the hell out of Boo Boo and beats him to a pole and gives him a real Mexican beating, then we can say that. Or we can say, okay, you at least had enough balls to sign the contract and do that. But that I'm still not taking life. I'm still giving life to Canelo because he's fighting Bivol at 175. So good luck to him. He's the man. Canelo's the man who faces boxing. He's going to call the shots, and that's it. No matter how we want to look at it. But at the end of the day, when he retired from boxing 20 years ago, you can't compare him to Salvador Sanchez. You can't compare him to Pereira. You can't compare him to Turbo Morales. You know why? Because he's willing to fight the best, even if they're Mexicans. He'll fight the best, even whoever they are. And in my opinion, this is my opinion, only my opinion, he's not fighting the best. Do you think that? No, it's not going to happen. We talked about that a few weeks ago. Oh, 20, you want to please hit that like button if you haven't. I talked about that a few weeks ago. It's not going to happen. You know why it's not going to happen? Because his fucking manager, Lukowicz, Benavidez' manager, he's outpricing the fight. He's coming up with all these kinds of assumptions, and that's not how you make fights, bro. Even I think he was asking $7 million or $8 million to fight in that fight. And even Benavidez came a couple of days later and said, no, I'll take $3 million for that fight. So the problem there is Benavidez is his manager. It's Benavidez' his manager. So as long as you have him behind Benavidez, a lot of fights are not going to happen. Stone Cold ET, you make me laugh. Oh hell. Oh shit, man. The Stone Cold ET making me laugh. What's your point? What are you trying to say? You make me laugh. What's your point? Alapao. Basically, Canelo, a disappointment for this year already. Maybe next year something good. I don't know. Like I say, Alapao, it's going to be to me until he doesn't fight who I said he has to fight. There's always going to be question marks, and if he's happy with that, if he's happy for like he says, I don't care. I just want to fight champions. Okay, just go on your legacy, write your legacy, and people are giving you props. Yeah, you on a 160 all the way up. What was it? 147 all the way up to 160, 175 to do what you got to do it, and people are giving you props for that. Okay, so be it. But I'm telling you right now, there's always going to be questions to his legacy. Why? Because he's not fighting the true talent in the division. He's not fighting fighters that he should be fighting. He's waiting for them to get old before he fights them, and that's the bottom line. That's the way I see it. I was brought up in my time and age where I don't care how if you think you're the best, okay, prove it in the ring. That's it. I don't care about the shit. Canelo's got everything in the world. Canelo's got everything in the fucking world. What does he got to lose? He doesn't want to fight a Mexican because he's afraid that a Mexican might beat his ass. He might get embarrassed. But you know what? Sometimes you have to fight the cream of the crop of your country so people know who the best are in your country. That's what I like Salvador Sanchez. I'm sad that he's like one of the great fighters. Chavez, another one I like. You know, so but Canelo, he says he can make history, but the only history, in my opinion, he's gonna make is the history when people are gonna question his legacy. I don't. If that fight happened, that even be good for just for Canelo stepping up and fighting him, but he won't fight him because he's a Mexican. He come out and say something like that. Well, I'm not going to fight him because he's Mexican, so I'm not going to take the challenge because he's Mexican. No, you just fear of getting beat by your own countrymen. But you know what? You gain more respect from your own people if you do stand out and hike up your skirt and fight somebody from your country, and that you know that you lost, and you just get more honor because you fought somebody in your own country that beat you, and you can sleep with that. And that's one thing I can't say about Canelo. He won't do that. So whatever. Back 20 years from now, if I'm still alive, we'll talk about this when he fucking retire. And I guarantee you, there's going to be a lot of questions on his legacy. But I like Zurdo, though. The fight that I really want to see, Zurdo been calling out Bivol for a long time. So good luck to Bivol, Canelo. If they win or whatever happens. But Zurdo, Ramirez, Bivol, Dimitri Bivol, that'd be a great fight. He's been calling him up for a minute. A cool guy said the only person that beats Canelo is Canelo. You can say that. You say so. Basically, saying he's the best of boxing right now. Yeah, I won't take that away from him. He's prime of the prime, best of the best. And I will give this one thing I always give him. He is the most active fighter in boxing for the last 5 years or whatever the case may be. I'll give him that much or whatever. But that being said, say what you want. Canelo can say that, but the same way you say the only person that beats Canelo is Canelo, you can also say the same decisions that he's making today for not fighting the fighters that he should be fighting and waiting for them to age out. It's the same question that's going to be answered to him when he's fucking 80 years old. See, and then he answers the same question you answering. Answer the statement you said. No, I'll say if Zurdo, remember his fights, Dimitri, not David Benavidez, Zurdo and Demetrius Bivol. Bivol been calling out for a minute. Even before the Canelo fight, even wanted to fight. Zurdo been calling out the Bivol fight. So don't be surprised that in the future if that happens, because believe it or not, it could happen. All you guys, please hit that like button. I greatly appreciate it. I can't think that right now. That one I remember. Puerto Rico only got right now a champion right now. I think his name is Gonzalez in the lightweight, if I'm correct. But right now, Puerto Rico's got to get themselves together with boxing. They pretty much did not. I mean, right now, Xander Size is coming up. The coming up supposedly Berlanga if he gets his shit together. I just saw young Puerto Rico coming up. But right now, Puerto Rico's not in the same state condition like the Mexicans, the Japanese, this and that. And that's not taking nothing from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico got a long way to go right now. They got to build everything back up. I like Salvador Sanchez, straight up. I like the way he fought. I like the way he came in there. He fought one of my favorite Puerto Rican fighters, in Bazooka Gonzalez. And he was one of the most talented. Unfortunately, he died. But I like him. I like Barrera. I like a lot, and I definitely like Terrible Morales. Any of them guys didn't back down for nobody. They fought who had to fight. If they had to fight each other, which they had, Barrera and Morales fought each other. Then they were Mexicans. Chavez was another great one. He put out how many, 100 fights or whatever. So what makes Canelo like the special case in Mexican boxing that he can just like, oh, I don't want to fight my own kind. Okay. But don't say that nobody wants to fight you that's Mexican. Don't say that you fought the best because you didn't fight the best. Maybe you did coming up, and we can argue that as argument's sake. Some people will tell me, yeah, but you can say that now, but there's reasons why he doesn't want to fight Mexican fighters because he's throughout his on the come up, he fought a lot of Mexican fighters. Okay, so that's what I say. But I'm just saying, like for me, if there's a great Mexican fighter out there right now in this era that's out there and represent Mexico just as good as you, and you guys got getting some chingones and whatever you guys want to call it, or whatever, tienen cojones para pelear, you got the balls to fight, then you go ahead and do it. It's not about, oh, I'm afraid to lose to a Mexican, I don't want to fight a Mexican. No, man. You just find the best one available. So even in your country will respect you more because you have two champs that fought each other. But you sitting here, I don't fight more Mexicans, even if they're top of the, I don't like that. That's my own opinion. And again, I don't have the money he has, so he can do whatever he wants. Eddie Romero says, what about Canelo with Beterbiev? Oh man, that'd be a great fight. You see, before it's funny you say that. Before Beterbiev, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Before Beterbiev beat Brown, the last round he beat the shit out of Brown, right? I was for sure thought that he was gonna fight Beterbiev before he fought Bivol, right? All of a sudden, Beterbiev, and he's older too, Beterbiev put a beating on Brown, right? Put him down to a pole, and all of a sudden they changed their tune. No disrespect to Bivol, because I like Bivol. I think Bivol's a very technical fighter. He's got a great jab, his movement. And speaking about Bivol, I like what he brought out today in boxing. He came out and said that, you know what? I don't care. I'm not here to win I'm not here to win the boxing media or what the media thinks about me. Or get their opinion. I'm here to fight Canelo and fight with him in the ring. That's what I'm worried. That's who I need to win. I need to win against Canelo. So that statement right there tells me a lot about Bivol. Like he's like, I'm not here to drive. I'm not here driven by what opinionated media says about me. I'm not here about what's it, Fight Hype or Fight Hub or ESPN or Boxing Live or whoever the fuck, right? Says, you know, oh yeah, Canelo's this, Canelo's that, and everybody goes, yeah, Canelo, or whatever the case. He's not. Or they say, oh, Bivol's. He's not worried about all that. He's got to do. He does. He's obligated. Press conferences, Bivol does, but he says, I'm not here. I don't give two fucks if I win the media on my side. I'm not going to win on my side anyway when I fight Canelo anyways. He knows that already. So we basically, I don't give a fuck. I'll do my interviews and everything respectfully and all this. You know, I'm really worried about what's going on in Russia, prayers for them, or Ukraine, but I'm not here for that media shit. I don't care what the media tells me, because the media's not going to be there fighting this fight. I am. So I like his mentality on that. What's up, MAW? I don't know. I think at the end of the day, the bottom line is right now he's on top of the mountain. No matter how we look at it, he calls the shots. He's happy with himself. He doesn't really care what I say, what you say, what anybody else says, and we have to give him that respect and understand that, you know what, that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way the motherfucking is. He calls his shots. He gets it the way he wants it, and we have to respect that. And I've come to terms with that. I might get really still upset at my Canelo, but you know what? Let him do what he wants. But when he retired from boxing, he can't go back when he's like 60 years old and say, oh, well, no, because there's always going to be question marks because you didn't do it the right way. And then you'll say, what is the back? The people are going to argue, well, what is the right way? He wants 75, he wants 168, he wants 160, he wants to do this. So it's always going to be something. But you know what? It's Canelo's time, his prime. He does whatever he wants. He's the boss. Let him do what he wants. At the end of the day, he's going to have to answer to his own people. And the true boxing fans know what the deal is. Yeah, I think it was you telling me, Al DePel, that David Benavidez called out a whole bunch. Oh, somebody told me in the live earlier that David Benavidez went on a long list of calling anybody. But I'm going to say it again. He could call President Trump. He could call President Biden. He could call whoever he wants to call. It don't mean shit. His manager is not a good manager. Fucking sucks. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we see this all the time with the Japanese fighting. We just had the other day. We just had two flyweights or lightweight fighting. There were two good fighters, and BT called them out. I forgot what fight it was, and one got the IBF title back, what it was. So you always gonna have that. It's not wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with it. That's what I'm saying. It's not wrong. Puerto Ricans fight Puerto Ricans. Blacks fight blacks. Whatever country you're from. No disrespect in any other way. I'm just saying, it's there. You know what I'm saying? Both for Holyfield, right? Tyson fought Holyfield. Friggin' Dempsey fought whoever. Well, so it's always there. But you can't make excuse. Say, oh, I just don't want to fight him because he's in my culture. Or I just don't want to fight him because, you know, I'm the best one, but he's ranked #1. No. Fear, overcoming fear is accepting the fear and stepping up to the plate. But again, I'm gonna let it be because it'll frustrate me all day if I think about it. Troy Sawyer says, no cojones, Canelo lacks the confidence to fight the best, and he's always been that way. That will always be his infamous. Yeah, you said it for me. I can never, in my opinion, I can never put on, and I don't care what Fernando Vargas, I like Fernando Vargas when he fought Phyllis, one of my other Puerto Rican fighters, Phyllis Trinidad. I don't give a fuck what Fernando Vargas says. I don't give a fuck what who else says that. Who else said who was that popular Mexican today just called out? I don't know who they tell me he's the best fucking fighter. No, he's not the fucking best Mexican fighter. I'm sorry. When I lived in the era when I seen Barrera fight, when I seen I was in Barrera, Morales, when I seen Chavez fight, you know what I'm saying? I only seen Salvador Sanchez, but what I seen from him was very respectful. What I see how he fought and everything. When I see fighters like that literally go in there and they don't care, they don't run for nobody, and even if, okay, let's say you have like say, okay, well maybe I didn't take a chance at 1 out of 9 fighters that I was supposed to fight, but you fought the majority of them and you fought them, you gotta gain that respect. Simple as that. What you do today is what people are gonna look at tomorrow in the blueprint. You know what I mean? And they're going to say, okay, yeah, Canelo did this. This is going to be the argument. I'm not going to tell you 30, 40 years from now. They're going to say, oh, yeah, Canelo was great. He went 147, whatever fucking weight class is. I'm hypothetically speaking, 140, 154, 160, 168, 175. And maybe he did this, he fought champions. Yeah, but they're not telling you what quality champions did they fight. Did they fight the top champion in that division? The top of the cream, the crop of the crop? Was he old school that when somebody called you out in the backyard, you go out there and you fucking fight him? Was he one of those guys that say, oh, yeah, I'm going to go in there and have that Mexican thing in me? And, yeah, you call me out, I want the next fight. I don't care. I don't care if I lose or not. I want the motherfucking Mexican fight. Let me get that fight going. Is he like that? Fuck no. What does he do? He gets his hat. He gets a fucking hat, right? He gets a hat, and he picks out the hat who he thinks is better. That's why I will say it again what Mike Tyson said, and I 100% agree with Mike Tyson says. Boxing today, when I live, and I know it existed in my time. I'm not gonna try to be blind to it, but it's not as bad as now. Boxing today, the fighters, and you're right. The prize fighters, and Brendan said they gotta make their money on that shit. But okay, all that shit's being said, it's more. The Tyson is more of a business than it is boxing. It's really true. It's fucking really true. You got fighters that don't want to fight somebody because the money's not right. Well, fuck, if you fight them, you fuck them up and you get this belt and you move on. And then you're going to get an opportunity because you got another belt. Yeah, you got to pay sanctioning bodies, whatever the fuck you got to do, but you're going to have that. But the thing that I will always question about Canelo is going to be his legacy. In my opinion, I will always. I don't care if you tell me, oh, he went to 175 and he fought this. Yeah, and I'm going to say in that year, did he fight the top fucking champion at 175? Huh? Did he fight the top champion, the best quality 170 pound up there? And don't tell me, oh, he fought a champion. Sometimes just because you got a belt doesn't mean you're the best. Look at the resumes they fought. Look at the call. You got to break it all down. If you're gonna, I'll put it like this: if you're gonna go to a fucking restaurant, right? You're gonna say to them, "What is the best plate on here?" Right? The server's gonna tell you, "Oh, we got this, we got this, we got that," right? And your whole family for you is telling you, no, you gotta have this fucking plate, this black and white plate you gotta have. No, that's not the best one. It's this one over here. But you're not gonna fucking know how that black and white plays that your family is telling you about until you fucking try it. Same thing what I was saying about the Canelo. Canelo, you know what's even crazier? Canelo can write more history if he really grabbed his balls and fought all these guys that are calling him out, that people say they're very talented and everything. Call all these fighters out. Fight the cream of the crop in whatever weight class. Look at all the 3 fighters, 4 fighters, whatever champions are there, and fight the best one out of all of them. And then somebody's gonna beg to argue, but they were all champions. No, motherfucker. Look at the resume. Look who they fought. Look, this guy fought better quality. This and that. And look at everything. And then you can argue the argument and say you can't. In this era right here, you can't say that about Canelo. You can't. You can't. When Roberto Duran fought in my time, when rest in peace, my favorite fighter, Marvelous Hagler fought in my time. And when Sugar Ray fought later for my time, and yeah, Sugar Ray, and it happened once in a while with the avoided fighters. Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns, Roberto Duran, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Roberto Duran, Tommy Hearn, Sugar Ray Leonard. When they were in my era, when I grew up in that era, and I also grew up in the era, don't forget, when Michael Nunn was fighting, when Barkley was fighting. I remember those names. I didn't was avid, but I remember all those names. Or any other, I fought when Chavez was still young, beating a lot of people. He was the biggest spectator at the time. When I grew up in that era, you got some fighters avoiding here and there. But one thing that the majority did, and Barrero and all them, they fucking didn't avoid anybody. They didn't go, when you go shopping, just tell me this, when you fucking go shopping, right? You go shopping to buy fucking Air Jordans or whatever the fuck you're gonna buy. Are you buying the ones that are fucking on sale that have the top quality or the newest brand that just came out with everything, blah, 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 so you can go out there and show people what you have? Or you just bought a fucking sneaker that says Michael Jordan just because it's got fucking Michael Jordan on it? My point is, the quality of things you get, the quality things you eat, the same thing the box is what's gonna be best for you. What is best for you? You want to have the best clothes, the best outfits, the best cars. You want the best quality. Because why? Because quality, so people can remember you by. It's the same way with boxing. You got to fight the top of the top, the cream of the crop, and that's it. But I'm gonna go back with Mike Tyson says: if you don't fucking fight, it's more of a business than it's fighting. And he ain't lying when he's saying that. Mike Tyson not lying when he says that. Oh, Ben Adams. I was telling this with my son, man. I'll be honest with you, man. That would be if Joy Joyce and was it Joy Joyce? Joy Joyce? No. And Trouble Usyk, even though Usyk already beat him, I think it'd be a great fight. I think it'd be great. I mean, you can't sleep on Joy Joyce. He's pretty strong, but I think Usyk has proven already. I think he beat one of the best heavyweights in British boxing that's been around besides Tyson Fury, because we can't discredit that. Besides Tyson Fury, but Joshua, who beat British boxing for a number of years and everything, and everybody doubted him about that, and he went and did it. That'd be a great fight right there. I honestly think he will. In that fight, I'm taking Usyk. I think the skill, the speed, the quickness, the movement he got will be too much for Joyce. But to backtrack that, the fight that I would like to see Joyce fight that he turned down, he should have fought Filip Hrgovic. If he had taken that fight when they offered the fight, not that he needs it, but recently he turned it down like the other guys did, he would have been on a co-main with Canelo. So yeah, I would take Usyk, but I think Joyce would give him a hard time. But I just think Usyk and his skills out of his world. Until somebody can get him with that, beat him, outbeat him, and I'll fight him in his chess game in boxing. I got to go with Usyk. Cool guy says, make sure guys hit that like button, please. I really appreciate it. Says, man, I don't know a lot about Andre, so can't say, but a hard fight for Canelo. It's better be well. Like I was telling you, cool guy, I think that Bittery fight would have happened before Bittery beat the shit out of Brown. But because the way Bittery stood in front of Brown and beat him down to a pulp, I think Canelo Reynoso thought twice. That's not disrespecting Bivol, because I still give respect to Canelo because he's actually fighting Bivol at 175, and there's no kind of stipulation, no nothing like that. So I have to give some props to Canelo. I just think what we talked about earlier, there's always going to be questions with him. Yeah, the people want to see, but it's like my son says, this fight is getting so played out. It's getting so tiring to even hear about this fight, Errol Spence against Bud Crawford, because this is the same thing with the fucking Amir Khan and Kell Brook fight that finally happened after how many years? This is a record being played and scratched over and over and over and over with the same song to it and the same thing. I'm not disrespecting Spence because Spence went across the pond and he beat a strong-minded in prime Kell Brook, and he took the belt with him and he brought the belt over here and he tried to unify and did his thing. I got that, but somebody tell me that for Spence to say that he's the fucking he's the shot caller, that he's the big fish, he full of shit. He full of shit. I'm sorry, I'm full of shit. He has not accomplished the things that Bud Crawford has done in boxing. And let's get it straight. anybody will fight Spence, but a lot of people don't want to fight Bud Crawford. Understand what I just told you? Anybody will fight Spence, but a lot of people don't want to fight Bud Crawford. Yeah, you always saying there, Charlo fight Jacobs. That would have been a great fight. You talking about when Jacobs walked up to him and challenged him when he was running his mouth in Brooklyn? That would have been a great fight at the time. I don't even think people want to see that now. That would have been a great fight at the time. Yeah, and then the Charlo thing, Charlo said to Andre that Andre backed out. No, it had to be about money. At the time, HBO has some contractual or something, and Andre doesn't fight like that. If you were going to pay him for what he's putting his life out there, he's not going to take anything. So, no, I wouldn't either. But that being said, Charles had enough time to call him back and have a fight with him. And instead, he wants to make excuses, so I can respect that. Tank hasn't fought Shakur or Haney. Well, guess what? That's what I'm saying. They're trying to protect him. And I mean, I'm telling you right now, Tank should have fought Shakur before. Because I'm telling you right now, Shakur Stevens is going to. You're going to see the best version of Shakur Stevens from here on or onward. From his last fight to now, you're going to see the best of Shakur Stevens. Mark, when I tell you. And he should have stepped up and fought Haney if that happened, but I don't think that happened either. So it is what it is. Yeah, so however we want to sugarcoat that, Charlo, Andre, and then Benny. Either way, either way you want to see that, it's great. I mean, that can happen. If Charlo and Andre will definitely fight. But the question is Lugo was Benavidez' manager. It's been the problem the whole time. He's going to continue being the problem for Benavidez. So it's going to suck for Benavidez. Well, his biggest fight right now of late is going to be when he fights the fighter formerly known as Rolly Romero. He's fighting him next. I don't know what the fight date is at, but he is fighting him next. And let me tell you, that's not going to be an easy fight. When people say that I slightly favor Gervonta Davis to win, but I want to sleep on Rolly Romero because he's got an awkward way of fighting, but he's got power in those punches. And that awkwardness that he brings was going to throw Tank off. And if Tank couldn't handle, and I'll be honest with you, Tank couldn't handle the fucking punches that freaking no disrespect to Pitbull Cruz, and he didn't want to rematch with him. Imagine what the power that this guy's going to bring. I'm telling you straight up, do not underestimate Rolly. Rolly's learned that Cuban style shit from his father. And no disrespect, Cuban style of fighting it might look awkward, but it doesn't matter. If it gets you to win and gets you where you want to get at, and like Rolly said, and he's another confident fighter. You can't sleep on that. So yeah, this next fight is against the fighter other than known than Rolly Ramirez. No, sir. So that fight's still going to happen down the road. I think Canelo signed a three. I'm pretty sure he signed a 3-fight deal with the Zone. Right? He's got the fight coming up with Bivol. Then he's got Gigi, and then he's got another one that Eddie Hearn came out and said a while back. He said that possibly, I don't know what month it was supposed to be in Guadalajara. They're going to have possibly be the Macbu fighting in that fight, which I really hate that. I'd rather him simply fight Ryan Garcia. I mean, not Ryan Garcia, Ryder. That's what I want to say, the Guerrilla Ryder. So it's not canceled, Cesar. The fight's still going to happen. Yeah, one other thing I'll say about Bivol, I'll say he's a technician in that ring. He's got a beautiful jab. He keeps his distance. He's going to be tall. He's going to be taller than Canelo. I think his ring generalship is great, and I think he's still got some pop. When people say he doesn't have power, he does have power. Might not be what you want to see, but he's got it. So it's not going to be an easy fight for Canelo. I don't think Canelo's going to dominate the fight. I'll be honest with you. I think it's going to be a tough fight for him to win. Cody Crawley is actually Brendan's favorite fighter. I like Lopez. I like Josito Lopez. I'm a big fan of Josito Lopez. I would go for him. That's a good point you bring out, Aldo Pell. It's funny you say that because BT went to go. I forgot what fight we watched here locally here at the Hard Rock, and actually Oscar Valdez was actually go check it out on YouTube, True Cool Sports. Oscar Valdez after he beat Burchell, he was actually signing autographs. Check the video out on my son's channel, and Brandon yells out from the crowd, "Hey! Hey, Oscar Valdez!" And he looks up, and BT, while he's signing, right, throwing the pens or whatever, and he says, "Are you gonna fight Shakur Stevenson next?" And what he said, yeah. So, in our lifetime, the best thing that man's got is a word of his mouth. And I gotta give props to Oscar Valdez because he literally came out. It came true. Yeah, his next fight is against Oscar Valdez, and I mean Oscar Valdez fighting against Shakur Stevenson. So it's gonna be a big fight. It's gonna be a real big fight. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that fight's gonna have some fireworks. And I think that I'm not taking nothing away from Oscar Valdez. He's a beast in there. And I also see Shakur Stevenson. But I just got that feeling that this is Shakur's time right now, and he ain't looking back. Yeah, that's still hard to say. We have to go wait. The Vargas right now, they're just fighting up their building up their resume and going up there. The great thing that they do have, they have their father behind them that was a legend in the sport, was a true warrior, and having him behind them is a big thing. But it's too early to say what's going to happen with the Vargases. Yeah, cool guy. That's one of the greatest fights out there. It's funny you say that because I was watching Paulie Malignaggi. He said his favorite. Paulie Malignaggi was saying his favorite fighter was Arturo Gatti. And guess what, man, cool guy? Mickey Ward's where I'm from. I grew up in Chelmsford, Massachusetts, which is actually 10, 15 minutes away from Lowell, Massachusetts. And I got family that live in Lawrence, Massachusetts. Mickey Ward's from my neck of the woods, yeah. So yeah, so shout out. That was so I remember that he if you watch the fighter, I think it was Mickey Ward just made about his life. They had him in Art Romado's gym. That was in Lowell, Massachusetts. I used to go to that gym when I was 8, 9 years old. Shout out to Massachusetts. Yeah, so like I say, I'm just gonna briefly go back to what I had to say. We talked about Ryan. Thank you guys for your feedback. It's been a great live. Thank you for if you guys haven't hit that like button, I really appreciate it. If you have any more questions, I'll stay on for a few more minutes. I just wanted to talk about Ryan. I think it's a good topic to talk about. Canelo's always a great topic to talk about. And we're gonna see what's gonna happen with the lightweights and middleweights, super middleweights. You know, we'll find out what's gonna happen. Sooner or later, all this is gonna have to, sooner or later, like Canelo said, they're all gonna have to fight each other, and it's gonna have to work out when we see the best of the best. And I mean, the year we're in March, almost April, so we're 4 months into the year. So, we have to keep going and keep trying to keep talking boxing. Now, like I said, this weekend I'll be live. I don't know which live. There'll be 2 lives to be going on. I don't know which one. I'm probably we're gonna go to the ESPN one, but Burchell and definitely the one on Showtime with Tim Zhu. So stay tuned for that. If you guys have any topics you want me to talk about, just put them down or Instagram me or Brandon on Instagram. Just give from Dania. I'm gonna tomorrow. I know you got some headphones here. I'm gonna see if I can get this thing live, and tomorrow I'll probably just open it up and we can just talk question and answer, and we can talk about anything you guys want to talk about. And I enjoyed the live tonight, and thank you guys all for making it happen. BT must have been busy tonight. Maybe he didn't want to. He probably, I think, like the other night I called him. He was actually getting content at this, like, around what time was it? 3 hours different, 2 hours different. He was going to some interview some Fridays at nighttime, so he probably still getting some content. Hopefully we'll be here tomorrow. If not, you guys, shoot me him a message of what you guys want to talk about. And I'll be here tomorrow. Either way, I'll be alive tomorrow, same time, 8:30. Have a great night, guys. God bless you all. Really enjoyed myself tonight. Made it a good live. We didn't agree on certain things. We agreed on other things, and that's all that matter. And just having you guys as company is a big help. So thank you guys again. I'll say God bless to all you guys. Hit that like button if you haven't. And once again, I'll be here tomorrow. God bless to you guys. Have a safe home if you're driving from home. If you're at home, have a good night. Blessings to everybody. And, enjoy life, because life is too short. And as we always say, Brendan would say, you can hate me or you can love me, but I'm just a father from Dania. He's just a kid from Dania. I'm just a father. I'm not from Dania, but yeah, I'm just a kid from Dania. So take care, guys. Have a good night. And again, God bless. And thank you for making this live real worthy. God bless to you guys.